you weren't winning games, but that core felt like it had something. Am I right?
Yeah, I mean, I was the 4th pick in an unbelievable draft. You know, there's like Patrick Waugh and Brett Hull went in later rounds, but like the first rounders were Mario, Muller, Eddie, me, Corson, Gary Roberts, Joe Neuendijk. You know, the list goes on. There's probably some Hall of Famers I'm missing, but there's so many of them, it's hard to keep track of them. And having that young core, I was the 84 pick first round, and then Wendell was the number 1 pick overall the next year. And we didn't qualify for the playoffs, obviously, having Wendell as the first pick my rookie year. But then you could see glimpses of things happening, good things happening, because we'd make the playoffs. We'd always squeak in at the end. And
Norris division.
I personally feel like that whole no free agency, 50 first rounders if you sign for
yeah, that's right.
more than $100,000. The compensation was ridiculous. So it was a hard time, weird time, because as a player, they were always trying to change you rather than them drafting a guy that they needed. It would be like if you lost 3 games in a row and weren't playing well defensively, the next week of practices would be killing each other in practice. We need to stop giving up so many goals, and we'd kill each other. And they want guys that are young goal scorers that are, rather than pour water on the flower and let it blossom, they were trying to turn a rose into a tulip.
A thorn.
Yeah, so it was weird. They were trying to get guys to do things that they probably weren't nearly as adept at doing, right? And I was kind of a hybrid, you know, wild type Mustang, where I was more of a rover than a defenseman until I really learned.
Well, your game would be perfect now.
Oh, how many goals did you score right now?
It should be.
Right?
Honestly, how many goals would you score in this league right now?
I do. Well, I don't
steroids.
I don't know. We'll never know, but it would be fun playing now.
Yeah.
It would. I mean, every year is great no matter what, because, you know, hockey always comes down to you got to have guys that can finish. We'll say talent, but you got to have toughness, man. You can go back to in my opinion, the way I perceive and see hockey, the history of it, you can go every Stanley Cup championship team. They're probably obviously skilled, but it's always one of the toughest teams, man for man. They play, and that doesn't mean fighting. That means guys that'll take hits to make plays. That means guys that'll uncharacteristically hit that aren't big hitters, you know. And it's a mindset that I think you learn and develop over time, being with the pack of wolves on a team, and you want to bring something to the table, and you realize what you got to do to help your teammates, and so the whole team can, you know, strive and get better.
What would you say, like coming in as an 18-year-old, how long, like you touched on a little bit, I'm interested, how long, you know, how many years or whatever time frame you want to put on before you think you were like comfortable and like where you learned how to, like you weren't going to take the puck up and, you know, every single time, and how long did that take, like, do you think, to adjust?
I'd say at least 3 to 4 years.
3 to 4 years.
Because I would, like Razor said, I was like a man child and like a young in the mind in a man's body.
Man's body, yeah.
But I don't know. I'm the youngest in an Italian family, so you're kind of catered to a little bit, right?
Right, sure.
Yeah. A baby boy in an Italian family, it's like being a prince, right?
Thanks to the birth order today, yes.
So someone would yell at me, like Brofers, Dan Maloney would yell at me, and I'd be like, why are they yelling at me? Right. I'm out. But I would say 3 to 4 years, and then it was kind of my coming out where I think it was either my 3rd or 4th year. I had like 12 goals in the first 20 games.
Yeah.
You know, and then I, tied the record for most goals by a Leaf defenseman in a season, and was an all-star my first time. And, it was 3 or 4, I was like 21 or 22, which I think a lot of it was, I had to grow up. It's looking back at it, not grow up so much as in, grow up in that I have to be responsible for my actions, and learning that on a team was it was difficult for me. I don't know why. That's probably why my mom would say, "What's wrong with you?" But it just was. It was hard because I just felt like I just wanted to carry the puck, man.
Yeah.
I wanted to fly around. So I was like
fun
a
to
rover.
watch with
Yeah.
Who was the best player you ever played with?
Oh, that's a great question. I would have to say, not including, not all-star games, like team.
Yeah, exactly.
I would say Ray Bork.
No.
Just, I feel like I'm one of the luckiest guys in the world. It was like when I was 11 or 12, Borje Salming was, the first European, superstar playing in the microcosm of hockey in Toronto. And I was like, man, I want to be Borje Salming. Because he had this one move where he'd do like a half pivot and put it through his legs and then make a quick pass right to the center break-in when he'd be in the neutral zone. And I was like, man, I want to be able to do that. And then when I was 15, Ray Bork was like a rookie.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, I want to be Ray Bork. And then lucky me, I get drafted by Toronto. I get to play with Borje, and then I get traded to Boston in my 10th season or whatever, and I get to be teammates with Ray. So pretty,
It's a good start.
Pretty cool. But with Ray, just obviously the way he could defend and how strong he was and his shot and the thing with being a defenseman with Ray is as you know, when there's a breakout under pressure, there's 2 options usually. I'm not saying when they got the kitchen sink coming at you, but in most situations, when it's not a dumping and they're changing, there's 2 options of a guy you can give it to. And one of them is going to be a super clean exit, or the other one could end up, you get hemmed in. Mm-hmm. In all the years I played against Ray and saw Ray play, that first pass leaving the zone is always the exact right pass. And that's huge because I'm a big believer, in football and hockey, it is a territorial game. The more time you spend in your end, even though the other team's not scoring and you're getting outshot every game, it's not a good thing. That means there's a flaw in everything you're doing, right?
Yeah.
So just being able to get out of your zone consistently all the time, that's so huge for a team. And Ray was the best.